Hi guys and gals and kittens and welcome to iNiro. So typically this is training that is normally conducted by Aria when you become a client or a partner of us and you have the professional or the enterprise plan, then you gain access to a cloudlet. And Aria will have a 1 to 2 hour long training session with you, teaching you everything required in order to configure your chatbot. However, nobody really sees the things that are behind the magic curtain, so to speak, before they become a professional or an enterprise client. So in this video, I wanted to demonstrate it. So 90% of our users, they will only see the chatbots, right? And they will never realize the amount of innovation that actually is behind the chatbot. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate that. Now, first things first, if you are a partner of us, then you will gain access to hub.iniro.io, which is our hub. I am going to be creating a demo cloudlet in this video to use as my primary example as I am configuring my cloudlet. Now I can go up here, I can create a new cloudlet. And you can actually pay immediately if you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to create a YouTube demo cloudlets here now. And this process, what is actually happening, the reasons why I'm showing you this is because actually what's happening now is you get your own quote unquote private server. It's not really a server, it's a Kubernetes pod, but it is completely isolated from everything else in our infrastructure. It is load balanced. It is deployed onto multiple different servers. It is extremely resilient. We have our own content delivery network, etc., etc. So I just wanted to show this process nonetheless, just to illustrate actually how strong the server backend infrastructure of our chatbots actually are. So this will be automatically destroyed in 7 days from now, but that doesn't matter for the purpose of this YouTube video. So now I'm logging into my cloudlet. So this is the iNiro Hub dashboard, and this is my magic cloudlets dashboard. When I come to my dashboard, first of all, there's a YouTube video here you can watch if you want to. I'm just going to dismiss it. Then probably the way you would want to create a chatbot, typically we have done this already at this point for you, but you would go to Chatbot Wizard and then you need to configure your OpenAI API key. I'm going to pause the video here while I configure mine such that we can continue watching afterwards. So now I have configured both my OpenAI API key and my Google reCAPTCHA account secret and public key. There are links in both of these two modal windows to OpenAI where you can create an API key, and to Google reCAPTCHA where you can create a reCAPTCHA key. Now what I want to do, typically I want to scrape websites. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do hubspots.com because they actually have a very, very high quality website. Now I can choose how many pages I want to scrape. I can choose what base model from OpenAI I want to use. You can also change the base model later. And then I'm going to choose a flavor, and you can also change and edit the flavor afterwards. You can also create your own completely unique flavor if you wish. So now I'm going to scrape 25 websites. What's happening now is that your cloudlet actually reaches out to hubspot.com. As you can see here, it finds a sitemap, and this sitemap contains 4,875 pages. Our chatbot is only going to be scraping 25 of those pages. It will probably finish fairly rapidly, typically within some 3 to 5 minutes. However, still, I will fast forward the video at this point to make that part less painful. Now it is done scraping HubSpot or 25 of its pages. What it's actually doing now is that it's invoking OpenAI's API and it's vectorizing. Vectorizing implying creating embeddings for every single training snippet we have. And as you can see, there are significantly larger amounts of training snippets than there are pages. Now that is because when our website scraper is scraping HubSpot, it's not creating one training snippet for every single page. It's actually chopping up the pages according to H1, H2, H3 headers. Then it's using the paragraphs below the HX headers and combining them with the header itself to create one unique training snippet. This is one of the unique features of our chatbot, which actually significantly increases the quality. Why? Because it actually allows us to perform a lot of associations from individual knowledge data taken from multiple websites as the user is asking questions. Such as, for instance, maybe one of your primary pieces of information related to HubSpot's, I don't know, CRM system in relationship to Salesforce, for instance, might be in a blog article whose title is HubSpot compared to others. Now, if we only saved the web page itself as a complete training snippet, then if I ask the question, what's the difference between HubSpot and Salesforce, then probably it wouldn't be able to actually use that section from that particular blog entry. And now I already have a demo. If I click the demo button here, you might want to disable pop-up blockers. Then unfortunately there is a bug that requires us the first time that we load the chatbot, we actually need to do a refresh like this to get the icons working. We are working on it. We'll probably have a fix within a week, but already here now in the bottom right corner, we have now created a copy. Now it looks like as if I'm on HubSpot.com. I'm not on HubSpot.com. And actually, if you see the URL here, I'm at youtube-team.us.inero.io/www.hubspot.com. That's the page I'm actually on. So what we've done, we've created a copy of HubSpot's landing page, and then we've embedded our chatbot here. So already at this point, I can now start asking questions. Hi, for instance. And of course, at this point, the chatbot is already trained on HubSpot's data. What is the difference between HubSpot and Salesforce, right? That's a typical question potential clients of HubSpot typically has, right? They want to know how is HubSpot better than Salesforce, right? So HubSpot and Salesforce, and now of course it doesn't know the answer. Let's have a look at the training data just to verify. Now I'm back in my Cloudlet for the record. I can go to machine learning here now, and I can actually find a HubSpot model and see what types of data it has. Okay, testimonials. Can you give me some testimonials about HubSpots? Right, that's one of the training snippets that happens to exist within this particular machine learning model. So hopefully it's going to do a better job here than the Salesforce question. For the record, this is actually a feature. I know it sounds ridiculous because every single time there's a bug in some software system, the software developer is going to try to sell that as a feature. This literally is a feature. Why? Because it completely eliminates AI hallucinations. We have 0 AI hallucinations. AI hallucinations on one of our chatbot isn't even possible in theory, unless you actually hack it. So, and the reasons why is because we're providing context to OpenAI and we're telling OpenAI, answer this question given the particular context. If you cannot find the answer to my question using this context, then answer, I am sorry, but I don't know the answer. Right. So here are, can you give me some testimonials about HubSpot? Absolutely. Here are some testimonials from our valued customers. Martin Jan, inbound marketing specialist at LifeRay, said, as the main consultant for company's platform migration, Shilpa exceeded our expectations with her work, blah, 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 blah. And here they actually have a dead image. Now, these are things we typically do in a live production model where we go over and we sanity check every single image. And here's Whitney Blackburn about something, and then here's Francis Weaver saying something, etc., etc. Now let's see if we have something else. What can I use HubSpot as when working from home, right? It's probably a question a lot of potential users of HubSpot probably have. So let's see what our chatbot answers now. So this is the thing people see, right? Nobody really sees the dashboard. What I want to do in this video is that I want to demonstrate the dashboard a little bit to some extent. Yet again, if you become a client, you choose the professional or the enterprise license, you will get a 1 to 2 hour training session with Aria, where she goes through every single checkbox and button that exists in the dashboard related to chatbots. I am not going to do that in this particular video. And here you can see happy employee working from home. Yeah, cool. You can work, you can use HubSpot from home. Yada, yada. So now let's go into the Cloudlet and actually have a look at what is happening. So the first thing that is happening is that you get a quote unquote machine learning model or type. Here is my machine learning model or type. I can click configure here. I can change every single thing related to this particular chatbot. For instance, I can add a questionnaire. This is one of those things that probably a lot of clients would want. Why? And let me create a questionnaire to illustrate that. Get name, single shot, SendGrid subscribe. And let me add one question. Before we start, I will need some personal information to ensure a personalized experience for you. Dots, type, I think it is like this, type equal message. Hopefully I'm remembering the syntax correctly. What is your name? And then type context equal 1. Let's see if this was the correct syntax. And it looks correct. So now if I open this page in an incognito window like this, when I click the chatbot, it's actually going to ask me for my name. Hopefully. It is, of course, not, because I actually didn't configure it to actually use the questionnaire. So I need to go back to my model and then click configure and then choose the initial questionnaire, get name, and save. Now, if I try again, ta-da, and now it asks me for my name, Thomas. This is how we are able to actually use the name in the conversations. This one isn't configured to be using my name, but actually it still is using my name. So it's addressing me by name instantly. This way we can collect emails, phone numbers, insurance number, policy for that matter, whatever you wish, sex, age, state, address, etc. In theory, we can even collect credit cards to apply purchasing processes. Then I go on training data. At this point, I need to filter on my particular machine learning model. Typically, one cloudlet might have 50 to 200 machine learning models, and I can see my training data. And here you can actually see. So this is not one web page, obviously. So you can actually see how a training snippet has been subdivided, or a web page has been subdivided into multiple training snippets. If I disagree on this, let's say, oh, it wasn't 100%, it was 120%. I added it inline here, save it immediately, boom, my machine learning model has been automatically updated. So now it's going to answer 120% instead of 100%. And then further up here, I can see the history of questions. Here you can see all the questions this particular machine learning model has been asked. And I can even go in and edit. Let's say, I don't like this. Hello, how can I assist you? Hello, I am so happy to see you, dude. How can I assist you today? Then I check off train, I click save. Now all of a sudden I have a new training snippet that further strengthens my model related to the question hi. So if somebody asks hi, then now it's not going to say hello, how can I assist you today? It's actually going to say hello, I'm so happy to see you, dude. And actually we can even apply hard cache on this particular training snippet, save it, and then we can re-vectorize the model here now. Hopefully this is going to work. Vectorize one particular snippet. Now if I go back and I say hi, it's probably going to say something about dude to me. Okay, what's my name? Thomas. So let's try to say hi now. And here you see. Hello, I'm so happy to see you, dude. How can I assist you today? You saw now I actually manually changed and applied hard cache to, for the record, for one particular question in my machine learning model. The hard cache here, yet again, it implies that the question is never actually sent to OpenAI at all whatsoever, but it's only using AI search to actually look up the question, and it's returning this question if it is the closest match exactly as is. That's why it goes so fast. Then as you could see in history here, I can see all the history log items. I can create new questionnaires. I can have as many questionnaires as I want to. I can have as many models as I want to too. And one model is quote unquote one chatbot if you wish. Then I can go into MISC configuration. I cannot show you this, but at which point I will get two buttons up here, allowing me to override the set my OpenAI API key and my Google reCAPTCHA account, etc., etc. So now let's have a look at some more of these configuration parts here, right? The system message is kind of like the persona, right? We are going to play a role game. You are Jane. Okay, let's ask the chatbot, what is your name? And now it's going to answer Jane, of course. Okay, we need to remove the hard cache on this guy. Let's just delete this training snippet because it interferes, it matches as the top match. Typically, you very rarely want to use hard cache for the record because of issues such as this. My name is Jane. How can I assist you today? What is my name? Your name is Thomas, right? So all of a sudden you have a persona both in the chatbot, and the chatbot is capable of addressing you by your name because of the questionnaire for the record. So now let's go over some of the other configurations here. Yet again, I want to emphasize Aria has training courses for all clients and partners of us. But here you can see the greeting, right? Hi there, how can I help you? Hi there, how can I help you? This is the first initial message the chatbot gives once it is clicked. Then you can see the reCAPTCHA value. You can increase or reduce this one. Authorization requirements. If you have the AI expert system, you might want to lock down the model such that it's only accessible for authenticated and authorized users, at which point you choose which role the user needs to belong to in order to be capable of querying this particular model. This allows you to have different models for marketing and different models for your lawyers and different models for HR and different models for your front-end chatbots, right? The front-end chatbots typically are never have authorization requirements. But the AI expert system machine learning models typically has authorization requirements. Then I can choose flavor here and watch carefully now. If you look at this text here now, you are Jane. If I click, for instance, Snoop Dogg, then all of a sudden it says you are Snoop Dogg, right? So these are just predefined system messages, but you can actually manually create any system message you want to. You are Peter, the first Catholic Pope of the whatever, right? You can apply any system message you wish. And then if you apply a website here, the chatbot's going to be automatically scraping that website, looking for new pages once every 24 hours. So these are the basic settings here. Then you have the OpenAI things here. You can override the OpenAI API key. Here you see the number of requests, and here you see the maximum numbers of requests. For partners of us who might want to offer special offers, they might say that, okay, this particular client can only ask 237 questions per month. At which point when this counter reaches 237, then for the rest of the month, the chatbot is not going to work. This is a means to set the maximum number of monthly requests towards one particular chatbot model. This might be beneficial if you're using your own OpenAI API key and you want to restrict the model to a certain number of questions per month to avoid increasing your costs. Threshold. This is the amount of similarity. You might say this is 50%. 0.5, it's a value between 1 and 0. So 0.5 becomes basically 50% similarity before a training snippet is considered to be a match towards one particular question. All of this is done using AI search, or VSS search, vector semantic search, into our training snippets database. So whenever we are doing similarity between a question and some particular training snippets, we're basically getting a percentage similarity, if you wish. And this basically says 50% similarity. This is typically a good number. You might want to decrease it a little bit if you want to have a more resilient chatbot. And then if you want to have better conversations on your chatbot, you might want to reduce this. Maximum context token to 1000 or 1500. And then if you want to have longer responses, you might want to increase this to 1000. These, what you're looking at here now, 0.3, 1500 and 1000 are typical good values for a chatbot on your website. Why? Because it allows it to have extremely fluent conversations, does not allow the user to paste in Harry Potter books because it only has 100 tokens maximum question size, and it only returns 1000 tokens from OpenAI. While at the same time, it allows you to use 5592 tokens as a part of your messages. Then you can choose completion model, temperature is creativity, etc., etc. Integrations is a little bit complex, but the lead email in particular, thomas@iniro.io, and the email reply, thank you, one of our machine learning experts will contact you ASAP, are typically important. Now, if I save this thing, I create one additional training snippet now inside of the HubSpot model, add, how do I contact you, question mark, you can leave your email and name in the prompts. And I save this guy, I go to train, and actually I want to do hard cache on this particular guy. How do I contact you? Cache, save, and go to training here. Now I vectorize the model, and I ask it, how do I contact you, question mark, then boom, something went wrong. Why did it go wrong? Let's try again. And if you experience errors such as this, go to MISC and log. I'm going to open log in a new window and see what went wrong. Maximum number of requests reached for your model this month. Because I saved it with a maximum number of requests of 237. And I set the number of requests to 237. So if I try again now, it's going to work. You can leave your email and name in the prompt. If I now write Thomas Hansen and thomas@gaiasol.com and I click enter, boom, what's going to happen is that the system is going to send an email to this email address with the entirety of our conversation. So this is the basic lead generation feature. It's kind of like a little bit poor man's lead generation feature, because typically you want tighter integrations with your CRM system or something like that. So this is like the poor man's version of lead generation, but it's still highly working. Now I cannot click carriage return here because I haven't configured SMTP settings for this particular cloudlet, so it's not going to work. So, but if you have an SMTP server capable of sending emails, this is a perfectly valid way to collect leads. This is for Twilio if you want to have a chatbot on WhatsApp or SMS or Messenger. And this is for other types of more complex integrations where you want to integrate with, for instance, Zapier or Go High Level, etc. for every single incoming message and every single outgoing message. I'm not going to be demonstrating that in this video, but these are features we have. So anyways, that was it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.